This podcast absolutely, unequivocally, positively, 100% contains adult material. Mature audiences only, please.
Hey, welcome back to Me and Mrs. Always Right. I am your host, Me.
And I'm Mrs. Always Right.
And we are the ADHD of podcasting. And this week we're coming to you from that little trailer park in Waco, Texas.
We're just going to tell you about a little weekend trip that we did to Waco this weekend. We went to participate. Would it be participate?
Yes, we participated.
Okay. In the RogueCon 2023 that they had down there that Rogue Media was putting on. We went to the, loosely I'll say, theater. And, we had an experience there in the theater. And we had a lot of fun.
We had a blast.
It was a nice weekend trip. We got to see and do a lot of things that apparently we've never done.
Well, first I want to say thanks to Rogue Media Network for putting that on.
Yes,
you guys were great. We enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun. We got to look at ourselves from the outside in, and we got to judge ourselves for something I think we needed to do, and compare ourselves to where we stand against the gazillions of other podcasts that are out there.
Yes.
We had some great feedback. Mm-hmm. We had some really good constructive criticism. You might have heard the opening of the show is a little different.
It is.
That was some of that constructive criticism. I would like to thank Michael Osborne for that. This guy,
amazing.
The guy's a smart guy. He's on he does 3 podcasts, or he's on his third.
Yes.
And I'm sure he won't mind me saying the one he's doing now is called Famous and Gravy, like a gravy life.
Yes. And I can honestly tell you that I feel I found a new podcast to listen to. I'm not about your normal everyday podcast. I seek out
the oddities.
The oddities of podcasts, I guess you can say. And the one that he's doing is very intriguing to me. And it sounds like, now we listened to some of it.
We did, and he takes
one.
He goes back and he takes a dead celebrity,
mm-hmm.
and he goes through the life that they lived. His ultimate goal is would you have wanted to live that life?
Right. He kind of dissects how they got to where they were at, their obituary, their lifestyles of the rich and famous. No, I don't know. And I don't know. It just, and he's a brilliant guy anyway. I mean, he's really smart. I think he's like, I can't even say because
we've never even looked at a college was what you're saying.
I mean, I've drove by a college before, right?
No, right. I have too.
He's
community colleges.
Yeah.
That's about the extent of my education. I drove by a community college.
But he's like professor this and
smart guy
and PhD that, and I don't know. He's got so many titles. It seems like, and he's a very smart guy.
And he was sitting on a marketing panel.
Yes.
And this was early Saturday, so we get into town Friday night, mm-hmm. and we drove around Waco. We got in late. There wasn't nothing going on. We drove around downtown Waco to get a feel for where we were at. We didn't want to show up late, and we come back to the hotel and we go to bed. Did you sleep okay? No, you didn't. I never sleep okay.
I never sleep okay. The reason why we drove around town is because apparently this was the first podcast convention that Rogue Media had put on.
Right.
And it was set in a couple of different locations around town, all within, just a couple of blocks of each other.
Everything was in walking distance.
Yes. So that's why we kind of drove around town when we got there before we went to bed and got up Saturday and started our day. Yes.
I didn't know if you were done or not.
I don't know when I'm done either. I just keep talking.
Our first 2 things that we sat through were marketing, and we're in the wrong business.
Way in the wrong business.
Apparently, the way to make money in a podcast is to market it, not do it. Because this shit is, we're going broke. Okay, these guys are making money hand over fist, and I'm sure they're marketing more than podcast. That was just a marketing general.
Yes. Yes. And, because one of them did real estate, things like that. So they're just telling some marketing strategies that they use themselves to help people in their businesses as far as, flooring or plumbers or whatever, what they do to help their business along, so we listened to that, and yeah, they're banking, and good for them. I'm so happy for them,
something that caught me, I don't mean to interrupt, but something that caught me off guard or caught me off when, the first segment ended, and they're like, well, let's go to our audience for questioning. And I raised my hand, and you turned you're like, oh my fucking God. What
is coming out of his mouth? But did you see the
intelligence I proposed during the questioning?
You did, and everybody answered.
I am there to learn.
Yes.
And Michael, the guy that gave us the advice, it was funny because he was the second guest.
Yes.
And after talking to him after that, he goes, he gave us, we're not structured very well at all.
No.
And that's kind of our premise, is to come in here and just wing this shit.
And that's what we do.
And it is what we do. 99% of this podcast is not scripted. We may bounce a couple of ideas off of each other real quick before we get started, but nothing happens till we sit down and record.
Yeah, we have no idea what's going to be said by each other, or even what we're going to say ourselves.
And one of his advice was, you make sure you got a structure and you got a plan. And I'm like, I don't think that works for us very well.
Well, no, he said that it's not. Clearly, the non-structure works
for us.
What we do, and he enjoys that, and he kind of does that too. But if we just, maybe did a couple of things different, and that's why we're trying. We kind of said what we're going to be talking about the RogueCon 2023 and our.
So he said apparently,
experience.
If she shows her boobs in the first 30 seconds of the podcast, we're going to retain everybody that watches. That's exactly what he said.
Yes,
he goes, if you show them boobies within the first 30 minutes, you're going to hook them.
That's clearly what he said. Yes. No.
I wouldn't lie. I ain't never made anything up.
The only time you lie is when your mouth is moving.
But yeah, you were worried I was going to come off with some fucking smart ass remark.
I did. I was very concerned. Yes.
Very. But as the day progressed, there was another venue that was a lot more open, and they were doing live shows out of this. So Mrs. Always Right and I got to sit down and watch
several different live shows that Rogue Media produces, I guess, right? Produces and don't
talk to me with a mouthful of beer.
Okay, sorry. And so we got to see, how they set that up and what kind of goes into all that, which was very informative. Of course, none of that stuff would fit in our little tiny studio that we have. It's basically a closet.
We could decorate a little better. And when I say you move the boxes, great.
Oh my God, you know
Yeah, I just now noticed.
It's fine.
But there's still some like rags and shit on there. But
I know. But
we got the cute pictures of us on the wall. But we could paint or
definitely little baby steps, baby.
Tiny baby steps.
Baby steps.
We've grown this podcast on baby steps. Everything we do is baby steps.
Yes, but that's okay. That's okay.
I agree. I dig it. Did I tell you? I don't know if there was a technical difficulty, and we did 21 minutes and I forgot to hit the record button. So we're go back in it, and I can't remember if I was mentioned here that I got complimented on my editing and my sound quality.
You haven't. Go ahead.
It made me feel very good.
Yes.
One of the compliments of the podcast was that the sound was very good. And
you do an excellent job.
It's taken 2 years to get here. I am a stickler though on the control of this podcast and this flow in our sound. Nobody knows how we sound better than I do. We do, right? I mean, you don't edit, but
yeah, clearly I don't know. I know the sound because I listen.
You do listen.
Does that count?
No, it does count.
Okay, it counts.
But I remember when we started doing this podcast, you're like, it sounds fine. It sounds fine.
I thought it sounded
and
fine.
I was so anal about cleaning it up and learning, and I was putting so much time into that.
A lot of time and effort.
You were thinking I was being really anal about it. But we
it's
have
paid
come.
off.
We have come a long way. We have come a long way.
It's definitely paid off in the long run.
It really has.
It sounds like you have a team in your editing room,
babe,
really doing all of this and taking out all the little quirky bullshit things that I say or do or whatever, as far as, Penelope.
Stop it. And there is probably 9 or 10 podcasts, I can't remember off the top of my head, that we ended up watching. And,
yes.
and I do have a bad habit of comparing ourself to these other podcasts. I think it's the only way you grow. Where are we standing out? Where are they standing out? What are they doing, or what are we doing?
Right. But you also have to remember they were doing it live. No kind of editing, no kind of filters, no nothing. So live is definitely going to be different from what you get after you edited.
I think we'll be good live, but we have to get used to doing live just the same as we had to get used to talking across from each other in this room.
Well, I feel what we do here is kind of live. Now, if we did live, we could actually take questions from an audience.
I would love that.
As, I know you would.
This is always right. Can we see your boobies? Want to see your boobies?
Yeah, that's what they would be saying.
First question, if we ever do a live event, please have the first question be, can I see your boobies?
Let me take my shoes off. It'll be fine.
They're down here in my pants leg. Let me roll them up. I had to tuck them in my sock.
No. So, yeah. So we listened to several, and there was a little downtime that we had. So we kind of walked around downtown Waco. They did have a farmer's market going on early that morning that we got to see. And then we drove, we drove back to the hotel because where all this was taking place was not far from the hotel. I would say 5-6 blocks, maybe a little bit more.
Right on the edge of walking distance and driving distance. When you're as fat and old as I am, though, it's hard to walk across the street. So.
Yeah, so we drove to about the middle of where everything was taking place, and it was all within just a couple of blocks of each other anyway, but several blocks from the hotel. So we had a little downtime before we did, we went back to listen to more live podcasts, went back to the hotel, dropped the car off, and right across the street, technically from where our hotel was a bridge. And come to find out that this bridge is actually called the Washington Avenue Bridge.
Well, because it's on Washington Avenue.
Okay, but this bridge was built in 1902. 1902.
Okay, so here's what's going to happen right here at this point in the video.
You're going to show the little sign that you record.
That says 1901, yes.
Okay, but I'm telling you what I'm reading here that it's saying about the Washington Avenue Bridge.
Well, you know what? Miss is always right. You go right the fuck ahead and you do some reading.
Okay.
All right,
let me tell people about this bridge that we walked across because it was really, really cool. So the Washington Avenue Bridge, it says here in Waco, it was built in 1902, and at that time it was the longest single-span vehicular truss bridge in
Truss.
Oh, yeah. My bad. Truss bridge in Texas. I said tuss.
You did
that made a lot of fucking sense.
Well,
Tuss Bridge.
Baby, I'm here for you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm glad. So we actually did get to walk across this bridge, and it's a very nice looking bridge.
And there is a nice suspension bridge there.
Let me tell you about that.
I'm just going to tell you it's closed, and we couldn't go walk it.
Yes. And this, the Waco suspension bridge, I did look that up.
Oh,
it was built in 1890 something.
Well, I can't argue with you on that one because I didn't go over to that bridge.
Oh, I seen that somewhere and I was like, oh, that's really cool. And here it is. It was, it's a single span suspension bridge with a main span of 475 feet, and it opened November 20th, 1869, and it contains nearly 3 million bricks.
Wow. Maybe that's why it's closed, because it's so old, and they're like, bitches, don't walk on it.
Maybe. This bridge looks really, really cool.
It is a great looking bridge.
Yes. So, yeah, that's something I wanted to say about that.
So do you have any takeaways from RogueCon and the owner and proprietor? Is that the right word?
Yes.
RogueCon invited us to his studios.
Rogue Media,
yes. Yeah, invited us to his studios.
Yes,
and that was nice to see the grand production of 4 or 5 podcasts and what they got going on. And the good thing I felt is some of the equipment I have here, they're using
pretty comparable to what they have, which...
So hear me out. We rent the studio out, $1,000 a piece, right? No.
I don't have time for a second job to be able to pay that. No.
For what would you pay?
I'll pay you in food.
No,
or beer.
If we rent the studio out to other podcasters, what would you end up paying?
What do you mean? If we rented it out to other people
as a studio for other people to record podcasts?
I don't want to rent my closet out to people.
It's a nursery, but
it's not a nursery. It's not a nursery.
I mean, it used to be a nursery.
No, it never was.
It used to be a dining room, is what it used to be.
See, so
our poor house trailer.
Yeah,
was built in 1946, and it used to be a duplex.
48, but what? Who's counting?
You bitch! Why? You got to live up to your name, don't you? Every time.
Well, I mean, you want the facts right. You don't want people calling you out on shit that you think you know.
Well, I guess so.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the hospitality you guys showed us. So we got to learn a lot.
It was fun. Now, Saturday night after we watched the...
Still got no sex.
You poor thing. I mean, you're the one that passed out literally probably 30 seconds after you laid down.
Because you had my fat ass walking all over fucking Waco.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
You're the one that wanted to go walk around.
We had to walk to the 7/12/13/1876 thing and go look at whatever the fuck was over there. We walked past the farmer's market. We went to that cafe we ate to. We walked... Well, we did walk to the bar, and look, I'm not complaining about that. I actually got some beer.
Yes,
that was the one walk that was well worth it. Oh my god! And I hate to fucking jump in here.
No, you go right ahead.
You and I are probably just. I saw your light bulb go off too. The secret rulers of the world, are in fucking Waco.
Oh, yeah, that's not what I was even thinking about talking about.
The biggest. Would you call it a?
Oh, you know what?
Freemason temple? Is that what you would call it?
It is.
That thing is ginormous.
Yes.
If you get to Waco, there's some secret shit going on in there. It's the biggest fucking it's the biggest thing I ever seen as far as like just a single building type like that goes. And I don't think it's open to the public. And
baby,
Saturday,
no, you have to be a Mason to be able to go into.
How do they know I'm
like
not?
That. They know who is.
Everybody knows what the Freemason symbol looks like. I'll just go get it off some fucking dead guy.
You can't
or
do
off
that.
a fucking tombstone somewhere and just put it on my fucking chest and go.
No, you can't do that. I did read something.
I just want to go in. I want to see where Kennedy's at.
He's not going to be in the building.
You don't know. That's some secret governmental shit going on in there.
Yeah. I read something about all that. And I was like, what? Maybe I was going to tell you, but I can't remember. So it doesn't matter. Continue on. Oh,
No, that was it.
Saturday night, we actually
ADHD. Go ahead.
Stop it. We actually went to the theater. We got to hang out.
We got to get that in.
We got to hang out with one of the group of podcasters that did a live show there. We got to hang out with them for a little bit, and we all went to the theater.
Bustles and
Bangles.
Bangles. Bustles and Bangles. Let me interrupt here. I misspoke on the name of the podcast. It is Bustles and Bangers. I apologize. Now we will continue with the show. Bustles and Bangers. Great.
I'm sure that's
great couple.
Right?
Great couple. Fun to hang out with. They got a great podcast presence.
Oh yeah. I feel now they said that they just started out, and they've only got right at this moment one episode out. We did listen to part of it, but they did do another live episode, and what they've got going on,
It's kind of cool and unique.
I like it. And she has an amazing voice.
I mean, I would listen to her late at night by myself under the covers. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I would too. I'm not saying I wouldn't, because she has an amazing voice. What?
I think we have different reasons for listening to her late at night.
I know why you would.
Oh, yeah?
Because of what they're reading.
They're reading the trashy romance novels. Growing up as a kid, my grandmother apparently didn't have a life and had shelves of these.
No.
And I swear to God, Fabio was on the cover of every one of them.
Really?
I don't know about that, but I mean, that's what he used to do. He was the romance cover model.
Yeah, because I didn't even think he was that good looking. I guess it was because he had long, flowy hair. Look at me. Why are you doing that? Long, yeah, but his was like, I think it was straight.
It was straight.
I think you
so that matters. I got fucking great.
I think you could say he was like a younger version of, who's that wrestler, the blonde
wrestler,
Hulk Hogan.
wrestler
Hulk Hogan.
or wrestler. you're so country. That wrestling.
That wrestler guy, Hulk Hogan. Remember, he had the blonde, stringy hair.
Yeah. He was bald. That's why I always wore the
little bandana thing.
It's a do-rag in wrestling. Wrestling. Tell them about our theater experience, though, before we end up forgetting.
We go to this theater, and
you're so proper.
We have to be fancy because it's not like a movie theater. It's not anything like that you would ever go to.
This wasn't a theater, but go ahead. Before we start blowing smoke up your ass, let's just get the truth out there. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't think we're fancy for a fucking minute. No, not at all.
Not at all. And it's funny because I've been wanting to do this for a while anyway.
So have I.
And I know that they have a place, I want to say in the Dallas area, that they do something like this. And I've always wanted to take you, but you're so can't
prone
be
to
around.
Getting naked.
Okay, well that too. Yes. But you're just, I don't know how you would think.
I don't feel faith in my behavior coming from you at all. None at all.
I just don't know how you would take things like that I, you would look at me like.
Because you already think I think you're a lesbian anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
And I don't want you to think that. I don't want you to go.
Number one, too late. Okay. Too late. But, I would like to, and when I use the term experience these experiences with you, please don't go overboard, okay?
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
I'm not taking you to a taco shop or anything. Let's just it's in there.
Okay. So we go to this little. It's like in a strip mall, and somebody had rented out one office space or whatever, and
warehouse.
No, this definitely was not a warehouse. It wasn't a warehouse. It was in a strip mall.
Would you really consider that a strip mall?
Yeah, that's what they would say because it's like little offices, and they've rented it.
Okay.
And it actually was a burlesque show.
I quite enjoyed it.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I don't know. I felt like where the stage was at, it was up too high for people to climb up and down.
There was
anyway.
some struggling going on there.
And I'm like, put some kind of little step there, even if it's a removable. I understand why they didn't have one there because it would get in the way of people going back and forth. But put it there. I was concerned for the well-being of these girls up there. I'm like, they're gonna fall, and that one's gonna fall on her damn little snake and kill it or something.
That was not a little snake.
No, that thing was probably 10 foot long.
She was cute. Now I think I've
All
noticed
of them were cute.
Most of them. I think I found the difference.
Boobs.
I think I've true bonus, right? I think I found the difference in burlesque and strippers.
Okay.
Burlesque girls are a little curvier, which I'm appreciative of.
I know you are.
Okay.
Plus, they don't go totally nude. They're not.
I think some may. Depending on the statutes of whatever city they're in.
Right. Not where we went.
These girls were all wearing pasties.
Yes.
Okay.
And
fine.
they all kept
I got an imagination.
Underwear
on.
What did you call it? They all kept their dental floss on.
Right.
It was all there. So
most of them were cute. It was very pleasant.
It was a nice experience. And I'm not trying to say I'm a lesbian, but I would like to
do it. I'll be there. I'll show up. I'll watch.
Fuck that.
Babe,
ain't nobody want to
sexy.
See all this. You don't count. You're my husband. Okay?
I want to see it. I guarantee you I can get two people there to watch.
Two people.
Two.
Oh my God, man. But I would like to maybe go to a different place to see how they put their show on versus the one that we seen. The one we seen, I really did enjoy. I like the premise behind it. I like, the atmosphere. It wasn't sleazy. It wasn't, anything like that. It was nice and it was very enjoyable.
I had a great time. And I'm glad we went. Even if I got to see half naked women, whatever.
That's just an added bonus for you.
Of course, the chick who was doing the clown. She was probably the curviest of them all, but she was still kind of cute. But she came out to a song that I've never heard, and that song was so fucking cool.
Like this song. Yes. Not only did I find a new podcast to listen to,
yes,
but I also found a new song to listen to.
It's a cool song.
Yeah.
And it's something Carnival. I don't have it on top of my head.
That's the name of the song, Carnival.
Once again, we're fucking up. The song is Carousel by Melanie Martinez. Carousel, because I fucking can't get shit right. Now, back to me and Mrs. Always Right. Carnival, but she came out dressed she was in a clown outfit, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was fun. And it's funny because I know what I've seen, on older movies as far as this is what they consider burlesque or this is how they did it back in the day or whatever, so that's what I was comparing everything to, and it was a little bit different, but it's basically the same. I feel the closest one that I feel got in my mind to what I felt burlesque would be is the little pink girl.
Pink girl?
Do you not remember the girl doing pink?
That we watched.
Yes.
There.
Yes.
The pink girl. The girl in the straitjacket?
No, she had the beard.
Oh, the bearded lady.
Yes.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Because she had the little,
I'm not into bearded women, but
stuff, and with her little fan, her little flowy fan, and stuff like that.
The movie Moulin Rouge based off of burlesque? I've never seen it, so I wouldn't know.
Ish. You know what? We should watch it. I've seen it before. I mean, why
so
not?
is it based off of burlesque?
Ish. Yeah.
And do you
think
remember
so.
the American Pickers on History Channel?
Oh, yeah. What's her name?
Yeah, she did. She used to do burlesque.
Yes.
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 So.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so great. We're going to a burlesque show around here.
Eventually, you know.
Oh, we did find one more thing real quick. We
Mhm.
walked into Takova's boot store in Waco.
Yes.
Most beautiful pair of boots I have ever seen in there in my life.
Okay, so you're getting a new pair of boots.
Not sponsored,
and
but I would take that in a heartbeat.
I can absolutely tell you, he was amazed. He's like, oh, they have a, what kind of boot?
Takova.
Yeah. Right? Takova boot store. Look, they have a Takova boot store. And me being, I guess, the backwoods hillbilly that I am, never heard of Takova boots ever. But we did find a pair that you really... I've been wanting to get you a new pair anyway.
Those boots were beautiful.
And they are
Takova's
beautiful.
an Austin-based company, but all their leather work is done in Leon, Mexico. Leon. And the really good leather workers down there. The leather work is beautiful.
Yeah. It was nice.
Can't wait. Excited.
Yes. So we're just actually the ones he wanted. Now he was going to settle on another pair. It's basically both pair were ostrich.
I love ostrich boots.
And you have a pair now.
I do.
But we found another one with a darker stain to it.
Yes.
And unfortunately, they didn't have your size. So you were going to settle on the next lightest stain that they have. And I'm like, don't settle. That's not what you want.
No,
don't get it.
I'm glad.
So we're actually just waiting on an email, and we don't know how long it's going to be before they get yours back in stock and we can get them for you.
Right.
So I'm very excited, and I'm glad you get a new pair of boots.
And I appreciate the weekend we spent. Let me one more time.
Weekend.
Thank you to Rogue Media Network.
Yes.
In Waco. Your hospitality was awesome. Mike Osborne for the advice and stuff on the podcast that helped a lot. Bustles and Bangers. Sorry, I will get I fuck our own name up, so don't feel bad.
We have a name?
Yeah.
Famous and Gravy.
Yeah.
I can't wait to really
so not
start
not trying to
that.
plug, but just all the people that help with the influence and that helped us having fun.
It was a good time. We really enjoyed it.
Sure, yeah. If you have any, am I rushing you?
I'm not rushing.
It's Sunday. The Cowboys game's on, and I'm going to go see how bad they're losing by. Because I'm willing to
don't diss my boys.
I'm willing to bet they're down 21.
It doesn't matter.
You don't think?
Doesn't matter.
It does matter.
I don't care if they win or lose. They're my boys.
Yeah. Good for you. Hey, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please email us at meandmrsalwaysright@gmail.com. All complaints go to Trevor the intern.
Yes.
Did not fuck that up.
You nailed it that time compared to...
It's a whole new era of podcasting.
The last couple of times. So you can also find us on Facebook and unfortunately Instagram. I have seriously been
We're looking
lacking
for a new
on.
manager for that.
Yeah. Twitter, YouTube.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
Facebook. I said that.
You got that.
Okay.
All right. You're getting there.
I'm getting there. I'm trying. I don't know.
And help support this podcast at Patreon/Me and Mrs. Always Right, where you get pre and post show content right along with unedited episodes.
Look at you.
It's almost like I'm becoming a host.
Oh my God. Like you kind of know what you're doing or something.
I think we're going to get there someday. Hopefully.
Eventually.
Hopefully I won't be like that artist that dies and then all his work gets famous.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be that artist, but if it happens and you get money off of it, then fine. I'm good with it.
Oh, okay. We're not dying together?
Probably not. I'm a lot fatter than you. You know?
Oh, I was just thinking the way you drive or... but it's okay. It's okay.
Well, good. I'm glad.
Well, if we don't die together, that's fine.
That's
I will
fine.
miss you.
Okay. All right. I love you.
I love you too.
And thanks for a great weekend.
I had a good time.
Me
Thank
too.
you. Thank you.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right. I love you.
Love you too, babe.
Bye.
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 There it is.
There it is.